Coming up, it's Third and Bird, followed by Go-Jetters, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Real Monsters, followed by The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Real Monsters, followed by Alien Stage. Hey, just to let you know that Real Monsters is coming up next, followed by Leapfrog Scout and Friends, only on Nickelodeon. The Adventures of Tintin is next, followed by Hey Arnold, only on Nickelodeon. Hey, just to let you know that Adventure Time is coming up next, followed by Nick News, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Alien Stage, followed by Super Andrew 418's Character Elimination, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's All That, followed by My Brother and Me. In a moment, you will be watching Alvin and the Chipmunks, followed by Canimals, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, followed by The Nanny. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, followed by Spy Times Family. Coming up, it's American Dad, followed by Real Monsters, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Animal Atlas, followed by Ren and Stimpy, only on Nickelodeon. Are You Afraid of the Dark is next, followed by The Loud House, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Backyardigans, followed by Nick Arcade. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Battle for Dream Island, followed by Gumby. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Battle for Dream Island, followed by You're on Nickelodeon, Charlie Brown. Beetlejuice is next, followed by Keenan and Kel, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Big and Small, followed by Ni Hao Kailan, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for more of The Breadwinners, followed by Kiri and Lou, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Bubble Guppies, followed by Jack's Big Music Show. Do not move your seat because Bullwinkle's Moose-a-Rama is coming up next, followed by Alf, only on Nickelodeon. Hey, just to let you know that Butterbean's Cafe will be next, followed by Jumanji, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Camp Lazlo, followed by Yoko, only on Nickelodeon. Canimals is next, followed by All That, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Cars on the Road. Stay tuned for Cars on the Road, followed by The Muppet Show, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Cars on the Road, followed by Sonic Boom, only on Nickelodeon. Next Next up, it's Clarissa Explains It All, followed by Bananas in Pajamas, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Clarissa Explains It All, followed by Wild and Crazy Kids, only on Nickelodeon. Clarissa Explains It All is next, followed by a movie, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Come Outside, followed by Chowder, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Dexter's Laboratory, followed by Firebuds, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Doug, followed by K-On, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Doug, followed by Sid the Science Kid. Next up, it's Ed's World, followed by Looney Tunes, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Thimbles, followed by Augie Augie, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for the Game of Life, followed by Nick News, only on Nickelodeon. In this corner, we have Garfield and Friends, followed by JoJo Circus, Fight! Garfield wins because his show is coming up next. Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Hello, Jadoo! Hey, just to let you know that Haluva Boss is coming up next, followed by The Adventures of Pete and Pete, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Henry Hugglemonster, followed by Mr. Wizard's World, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Hey Dude, followed by Must Love Cats, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Inspector Gadget, followed by Leapfrog Scout and Friends. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Inspector Gadget, followed by Ren and Stimpy. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's In the Night Garden, followed by Sesame Street. Next on Nickelodeon, it's In the Night Garden, followed by Wabaloo. Next on Nick, it's Julius Jr., followed by Pajanimals. Coming up, it's Kablam! Followed by Sesame Street, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Conclave, followed by Total Drama, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Kenan and Kel, followed by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Next on Nick, it's Kick Buttowski, followed by Thimbles. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Kill la Kill, followed by Animal Atlas. In this corner, we have Kim Possible, followed by Chowder, Fight! Kim wins because her show is coming up next. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Kim Possible, followed by Transformers. Next on Nick, it's Land of the Lost, followed by iCarly. Stay tuned for Land of the Lost, followed by Infinity Train, only on Nickelodeon. Leapfrog Scout and Friends is next, followed by Real Monsters, only on Nickelodeon. Leapfrog Scout and Friends is next, followed by Cars on the Road, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Legends of the Hidden Temple, followed by The Mindy Project, only on Nickelodeon. Hey, just to let you know that Legends of the Hidden Temple is coming up next, followed by What Would You Do, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's The Loud House, followed by The Mindy Project, only on Nickelodeon. Hey, just to let you know that Love, Death, and Robots is coming up next, followed by The Critic, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's The Lucky Land Show, followed by Doug. Next up, it's Lucky Star, followed by Rugrats, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's The Mindy Project, followed by Vampirina. Hey, just to let you know that Murder Drones is coming up next, followed by Alien Stage, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for My Brother and Me, followed by Kick Buttowski, only on Nickelodeon. In this corner, we have My Dear Friend Nokotan, followed by Welcome to the Wave, Fight! Nokotan wins because her show is coming up next. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's the Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, followed by Big and Small. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Newhart, followed by Chunky's World. Stay tuned for Nick Arcade, followed by Alvin and the Chipmunks, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Ni Hao Kai Lan, followed by a movie, only on Nickelodeon. Hey, just to let you know that Augie Augie will be next, followed by Rugrats, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Ubi, followed by Doug, only on Nickelodeon. Paw Patrol's next, followed by Molly of Denali, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Paw Patrol, followed by My Dear Friend Nokotan. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Paw Patrol, followed by movie. In this corner, we have the Penguins of Madagascar, followed by Cat Dog, Fight! Skipper wins because his show is coming up next. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Peter Rabbit, followed by Happy Days. Hey, just to let you know that Pokemon will be next, followed by Doug, only on Nickelodeon. Pokemon is next, followed by a movie, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Pound Puppies, followed by Sheriff Callie's Wild West. Stay tuned for Problem Solvers, followed by Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Ren and Stimpy, followed by Blue's Room, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's the Ren and Stimpy Show, followed by Kill la Kill, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Ren and Stimpy, followed by Workaholics. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Robot Trains, followed by Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toon Adventures. Stay tuned for Rocko's Modern Life, followed by Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Rocko's Modern Life, followed by Unflared. Next on Nick, it's Rocko's Modern Life, followed by a movie. Coming up, it's Rocket Power, followed by The Amanda Show, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Ruff Ruff, Tweet, and Dave, followed by Nick Arcade, only on Nickelodeon. In this corner, we have Rugrats, followed by All That. Fight! Tommy Pickles wins because his show is coming up next. Coming up, it's Rugrats, followed by Battle for Dream Island, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Rugrats, followed by a movie. Next on Nick, it's Sabrina, followed by the Fairly Odd Parents. In a moment, you'll be watching Sesame Street, followed by Real Monsters, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Sesame Street, followed by In the Night Garden, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Sesame Street, followed by Wabaloo, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Sid the Science Kid, followed by Wonder Pets. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Something Special, followed by Global Guts. Stay tuned for Space Cases, followed by a movie, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Battle for Dream Island, only on Nickelodeon. In this corner, we have SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Ben and Holland's Little Kingdom. Fight! SpongeBob wins because his show is coming up next. Next on Nick, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by a movie. Hey, just to let you know that Star vs. the Forces of Evil is coming up next, followed by Roly Poly Oly, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Star vs. the Forces of Evil, followed by The Secret World of Alex Mack, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Sanjay and Craig, followed by Maude. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Superman, followed by The Journey of Alan Strange. In this corner, we have Team Umizoomi, followed by Blue's Clues. Fight! Bond wins because his show is coming up next. Stay tuned for Teletubbies, followed by Land of the Lost, only on Nickelodeon. Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toon Adventures is next, followed by Attack on Titan, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures, followed by The Muppet Show. Next, it's Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures, followed by My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Steven Spielberg's Tiny Toon Adventures, followed by Super Andrew 418's Character Elimination, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Top Wing, followed by Teletubbies. Next on Nick, it's Top Wing, followed by Yo Gabba Gabba! Total Drama is next, followed by you're about to see a movie! Only on Nickelodeon! Next on Nickelodeon, it's Trolls, followed by Welcome Freshmen. Next on Nick, it's The Unused Imagine Show, followed by a movie. Hey, just to let you know that Bell Burrito will be next, followed by Big Cook, Little Cook, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Way Blue, followed by In the Night Garden, only on Nickelodeon. Way Blue is next, followed by Sesame Street, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Where's Waldo, followed by Mutton Stuff. Don't go away! Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Wild and Crazy Kids. Hey, just to let you know that Wild and Crazy Kids will be next, followed by Thimbles, only on Nickelodeon. Wild and Crazy Kids is next, followed by The Wubbulous World of Dr. Seuss, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Wonder Pets, followed by The Backyardigans. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Yo Gabba Gabba, followed by Real Monsters! Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's YOLO, followed by Nick Arcade. Don't go away, in a few seconds, you're gonna be watching a movie!